Yes, I'm Kenneth Williamson, Associated Schools of Construction Regional Director for our Region 5 Division. I teach at Texas A&M University, which is one of 14 schools that are members of the ASC in our region. There's approximately 28 schools, however, that do teach construction education. We encourage you to participate with those schools, and one fantastic way of participating with those schools is through the student competition. The Associated Schools of Construction's annual competition started in 1988 and formed an alliance 16 years ago with TEXO. TEXO has provided us a tremendous support over the years. The competition has grown from 3 or 4 programs participating to 28 teams participating at the current time. It grew from more or less a core root of schools to now that we have an international division. And there are presently 2 international divisions here, or teams here, one from China and the other from Ireland. The ASC regional competition is comprised of heavy civil, design build, commercial building, and international design build. The first one, heavy civil, is different than the others in that the students come in on Saturday. We have a dinner where they are welcomed by TEXO and given a few rules, questions are answered. They go back to the hotel and begin their competition at 6 o'clock in the morning. The sponsor explains to the students what's going to happen during the day. As a general rule, after they hand out the initial documentations, bid documents, then at 8 o'clock they will have basically a pre-bid conference. At that time, the schools and teams will send one student back, and that person can ask any questions that they found in the original documentation. Those are promulgated to all students and all teams. Those groups go back and communicate that to their team so that to help them solve the problem. During the day, the sponsor will generally hand out sub-bids, any kind of addenda, any kind of change orders, that kind of thing that's going on in the bidding process. And they do invite them down a couple times for dinner, and they'll bring them down for supper. But you also have no contact with those students from outside sources. So they are in a 16-hour intensive lockup where they have to work and solve the problem that was presented in the bid documents. At 10 o'clock that night, they will come back down and there will be a bid letting, and depending on the winner of the bid, that team gets to select when they do their presentation the next morning. At that time, then they will have a debriefing. Generally, there's pictures showing of the project that they just bid on. The superintendents will come in, describe the project to them, give them a kind of a touch feel for that particular project. After that, they leave, they go back to the hotel, they get dressed, and then they go to the banquet, as do all students from all the competitions. Now, I said that the other competitions are quite different. We have design build, both international and national, and then we have commercial. Now, those teams are different in the respect that they do their 16-hour lockup within the school facility. They are sequestered, generally in a computer lab, but somewhere where that they can work, be monitored, print, have computer access, whiteboards, those kind of things that will help them facilitate the project. They will respond to online RFIs, the documents provided through web online media. the students go out through the day. They can ask questions through an RFI form, which is public to all the teams. So when one team asks a question and the problem sponsor responds to that question, all teams get to see the response. So that goes on for the period of the day. Up until about 5 o'clock, they shut that down. And at 12 o'clock that night, the competition is over and they must submit their online RFP or bid submission. Thanks to the foundation, we have a phenomenal banquet on Monday night. It has continued to grow from 50 to 75 kids to now that we're close to 300. And the foundation picks up the tab, not only for the competition during the 3 days totally, but they pay for that wonderful banquet, which we couldn't do as academic programs. At the end of that dinner, then there's an award ceremony. And this is fantastic that we're getting that kind of support from TEXO and its membership. And TEXO, I think last year funded $60,000, which is amazing, especially in today's time and age. Schools need that money to start new initiative programs, to go into areas that our industry wants, but we can't afford to get there. So it does help us. It helps our faculty, and the students benefit because of the foundation and, of course, TEXO. On behalf of the Associated Schools of Construction, as Regional Director, I'd like to thank TEXO, its membership, and its industry support that we just could not survive without. I'd like to thank them sincerely from the bottom of my heart for supporting our competition, for supporting career fairs, student recruitment at our schools. We could not do it without you. Thank you very much. And we have a future that can only grow. It keeps getting bigger. We keep getting bigger. Our industry responds phenomenally. Thank you sincerely.